A reading from Through the Eyes of Jesus by Ames. The Centurion, 20th February 1996. The sound of horses and men marching quickly could be heard, and then a garrison of Roman soldiers passed us, heading for the village. The clatter of their weapons and the stamping of their feet almost deafened us as they passed. When we arrived at the village, it was turmoil. The soldiers had searched the houses for rebels and had arrested 5 men whom they were treating harshly. The villagers were gathered around, begging the Romans to free the men. They proclaimed the innocence of the men and called for their release. The centurion on his horse would not listen and ordered the soldiers to push the crowd back. As they did, a young boy broke free and ran forward crying, "Father, Father!" A large, burly soldier hit the child very hard with his closed fist, and the young boy, who was about 4 years old, fell to the ground and began to convulse. The crowd became silent as the officer boomed, "You fool! He is only a child!" The officer jumped from his horse and leaned over the child, who had stopped convulsing and had now died. As he removed his helmet, tears were running down his face, and he cried, "He is only a child, a baby. My son is this age, a baby." He began to sob from his heart. I walked forward as the crowd parted to make way for me. The soldiers looked as if to stop me when someone shouted, "It is Jesus of Nazareth, the great prophet, the great healer." Hearing this, the soldiers stood back and I went to the child. The centurion looked at me and said, "Can you help?" In his heart I could see a lost soul, one full of the pain of the work he did, full of death and destruction, but hidden behind this confusion I could also see compassion, love and hope. "I will," was my reply, as I leant forward and picked up the child. "But he's dead," said the soldier who had hit the boy. "There's nothing you can do now." I gave him a soft smile and said, "My Father who sent me gives or takes life. It is his to command, and if it is his will that this child lives, then he will." "Then your father must be a magician," said the soldier. "No, my Father is the God of creation, who made all things, and it is his will that this child lives." As I said this, the child awoke crying, "Mother!" The soldier stood back amazed as the child's mother came and took him, full of joy, full of thanks and praising God for his mercy. The soldiers were still staring at me as the crowd began to praise God in unison. "Who are you?" shouted a soldier in fear. "I am," I said, and the crowd became silent. "What sort of answer is that?" I asked. "Who are you?" And you say, "I am." "I am the Son. I am the Lamb. I am the forgiveness of God." The centurion jumped on his horse nervously and snapped at his men. "Set those prisoners free. We do not want them." He looked at me and gave a nod of thanks as he rode off, leading his men from the village.